Hello everyone. Welcome back to the another lecture on the design of machine element. We already covered the two lectures on the topic introduction to the design. I hope you gone through it and doubts are pretty clear. I hope. Okay. So today we'll go to the next part of the first unit, that is introduction to design. Now today we are going to discuss about the governing equation for the bending, governing equation for the torsion, and the concept of the stress concentration. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. Now bending and the torsion equations. See, whenever you start designing something, okay, you have to consider the various kind of the stresses which are induced in the your product. It may be the bending stresses or it may be torsion, that means the shear stresses, correct? And you have to find those stresses appropriately with the help of some standard formulas. Okay, and these standard formulas are the governing equation for the bending and the torsion. We'll discuss first the bending equation. Now m by I equal to E by R into sigma by Y. This is sigma, sorry. Sigma by Y. This is the governing equation for the bending, where okay. Now just I have shown one diagram here that will show you what exactly the bending means. Okay. There is one beam here. This is called as a beam, and I'm applying the vertical force on the beam. So what will happen? This beam will bend like this. Okay, and due to this the bending stresses will be induced in the beam, correct? So this is what the bending stress means. Next, and this is m by I equal to E by R equal to sigma by Y is the bending moment equation, where m is the moment. So what is the unit of moment? Can you guess? It's a Newton mm. Yes. I is the moment of inertia in mm raised to 4. E is the Young's modulus, that is Newton per mm square. R is the radius of curvature in mm, of course. Y is the distance from the central axis, and sigma is the stress induced in the, or that is bending stress induced in the beam or any material. This is what the bending equation. Next we'll go to the torsion equation. Now this is diagram I shown you to demonstrate the torsion. Okay, when the shear stresses are acting in equal and opposite direction, there will be a torsion in the element. Okay, so the governing equation for the torsion is given by T by J equal to G theta by L equal to tau by R, where T is nothing but the torque in Newton mm, of course. J is the polar moment of inertia. G is the modulus of rigidity. Theta is the angle of twist. L is the length of the shaft. Tau is the shear stress, and R is the radius. This is the governing equation in case of the torsion. Whenever there is the torsion or shear stress induced in the material, you have to use the standard equation to find out the what are the induced stresses in the element. Next, stress concentration. This is also a very important concept as well as the designing of the any object or any product is concerned. You have to take care into the mind the concept of the stress concentration. So where the stress concentration happens, see, whenever there is the changes in the cross section, whenever there is the sudden changes in the cross section area of the component, then the normal distribution of the stress no longer will be applicable. Why? Because there is the discontinuity in the element. Now for example, I will show you. Suppose now this is the one rectangle I have shown. If you see the stress distribution, it will be happen something like this. Okay, like this, like this, like this. That is, there is the even stress distribution in the all the direction. But whenever there is the change in cross section, suppose there is rectangle and there is a hole in between, so what will happen? The stress lines are no longer uniformly distributed. It will be something like this. And what will happen is, in this area there will be the increase in the stress intensity, and because of that the failure of the material will be occur. So what you have to do is, you have to take care that you will try to avoid this mistake when you design it. Okay, now question is how to avoid it. Okay, the stress concentration will be reduced by the avoiding the sharp corners. Whenever there is a sharp corners, you replace it by a fillets, that is with the small radius, using the fillets. That's what you have to avoid sharp corners. You have to use fillets, placing the notches, threads in the low stresses. Okay, these are the some of the ideas you can adopt in order to reduce the stress concentration. In this block diagram we have shown it. Now see here. Sorry. Okay, now this is the poor design. Only there is one drill here in the material, due to which the stress concentration will be increased. In order to avoid this, drill two more holes side by side, so that the stress concentration will be reduced considerably. Anyway, you cannot avoid it 100%, but you can reduce it. Here there is one notch here, so in order to that you draw another two notches here. Okay, similarly here there are sharp corners. Avoid sharp corners by giving the fillets here, that is small radius you have to give here. These are the some of the points you have to take into the consideration if you want to avoid the stress concentration, because it will be dangerous for your design. Okay, it may cause the permanent deformation of the material and the failure of your component. Fine. So this is the summary we have discussed regarding the governing equation for the bending as well as the torsion, and we have seen the stress concentration. In that we saw the how the stress concentration will occur and what are the methods to reduce the stress concentration in the component. Okay, I hope the all doubts are clear. We'll get back to you tomorrow. Thank you.